All right, Si, you're going to have to give up for Mora, mate. You're going to have to give it up.
Mate, I'm loving him right now. The last few weeks have been. I knew this was coming. All the way. No.
Just to set some context, I have nothing but text after text saying get rid of Mori. He's rubbish all season from you, and now he's like playing out of his skin.
Listen, right. The reason I slate him before was because the kind of performances today, and maybe not the other night like everyone else, but certainly the last month or so, that's the Mora I want to see. And that's the performance I want to see from every player in that team, to be honest, not just him. So, you know, when I'm seeing him like going missing for most games, like let's be honest. Let's be honest, John, right now.
Yeah.
And just say like he would have a great game and then disappear for another month. Or he'll come off the bench.
He hasn't really played that much this season up until like the last.
No, he hasn't. But I think one of the main reasons he hasn't been playing was because he would come on and just walk about. And it's great to have some players running around.
When though? I think arguably he was our best player last season, in my opinion. I think he's probably in the top 3. Yeah, last season I think he was in the top 3 best players for us last season.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just been a mixture this year, mate, of such up and down performances all the time, you know. So I think the whole team is questionable half the time. So it's very easy to kind of pick out players when it's like today, for example. Like I've slated Sanchez for ages. I think he had an all right game today. Yeah. I think he had still a couple of mistakes in him, which is understandable. But, you know, like they're the kind of players you want to see progressing. You want to see them improve, but they just haven't been. So, like, for me today, I was just, like, watching the game and I was like, when's he making a mistake? I can't wait to message everyone to say, like, Sanchez.
I know, you were texting me. I was just going through my phone just then just to see your messages to me. But like within 10 minutes, you were, like, digging out Sanchez.
I know, but then I thought, okay, no, let's calm down. Like, he's cleared a few balls in this area. He hasn't, he's actually doing some basic things correctly now. So hopefully, like, and I think I've been calling for Roland to start for a long time. Like, that needs to be it now. Like, we got Toby, bless him. He's becoming a bit old now in the team. And like, I think we just need to focus on the future. And if the future is Sanchez, we need him to step up. Like, we can only do so much as fans and keep pushing players. But Sanchez may have been absolutely shocking for a long time. Zero improvement since the day we got him, to be honest. So we have a right to be frustrated about that. But if you see a bit of progression today, like we had done with him, and he takes that into the next game, this is the important thing, is I don't want to see this in just one game. I want to see the next game him being better. And if his partnership is Roden moving forward, great, because I think he needs some consistency, like with the people that he's playing with as well. Chopping and changing every week is not helpful. So, you know, there's a mixture of things there. But the game today, mate, in my opinion, was yes, of course it could be better in places, but it was a lot more professional, in my opinion. Like the way we were defending, yes, it was a bit weird every now and then, but in general, everyone was fighting for everything, like actually putting their body on the line, as Harry said after the game. Tanganga was fantastic. I want to see him play more, because these guys they've been waiting in the bench, or not even on the bench, for a long time, and they need to be given the chance. We've seen the players that have been playing week in, week out, and we go, oh yeah, it's a strong team. Well, it's not a strong team, clearly, because we've been losing games or making too many mistakes. Just stop playing them. Let's give these other guys a chance. You know, seeing Divine on the bench, that's what I want to see, is like giving a message to these other players that their positions are up for grabs. You know, there's plenty of players that will want to wear that shirt and put in performances like they did today. So for me, it was a good game, considering it was off the back of that utter nonsense that we watched the other night, which I don't even bring that into conversation, actually, because I'm in a good mood today.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that.
Yeah.
But do you think? I mean, what do you think though in the next couple games? Because we tend to do well against the lower half opposition. You know, like the poorer teams. But when we come up against half decent opposition, we tend to bottle it a little bit. I mean, what do you think we might have turned a corner, or are we just seeing like the same pattern here?
Turning the corner, I can answer that after the next game. To be honest,
no, but I want you to. You have to predict. Yeah, I want you to nail it now.
You know, I'll nail it in the sense that I think majority of the games, the hardest, and I mean that respectfully, are out of the way. And I think the run of games that we've got coming up are more than winnable. We need to be in the mindset like we were today. Obviously better. We need to improve on today. But it was a good start. Clean sheet. That's a big thing against a good team like Villa, irrespective of whether they had Grealish in the team or not. Or Grealish, however you say. But like, for me, I think that we can go on this big run now. And I still believe that we can pip the top four. I do believe it, because I think the teams above us do have some tricky games coming up. And they've also got more games coming up than us. You know, the likes of Chelsea, for example, still in the Champions League, FA Cup still as well, of course. So, yeah, there's one to target. And we're not far off them anymore now, because the win today, it was really disappointing we didn't beat Arsenal last week. Yeah. Obviously, from a North London perspective, but more importantly, the 3 points, because that would have put us right there.
Well, I think we would have been top four then, wouldn't we? On goal difference.
If anything, join. I think, but yeah, like I'm confident we could win majority of our games from now on to the end of the season, irrespective of the League Cup or whatever. I think we can do that, and then it's just down. If we can do that, then it's just down to others slipping up. That's what we need to start doing more and more. So
if we do finish top four, do you think it's a good season?
It's always a tricky one with like that. Is it a good season or not? Because right in the mind frame now, you sit there and you're like a bit disappointed and like, this is a terrible season. But you have to, if let's say we're the manager and the players right now, we're right at the end of the season, you collectively look at the whole season and you go, right, yes, we could have improved here and here, been better here and here. But the overall season, like you look at your end position, where you got to in competitions, how you exited the competition. So for me, if we get top four, I wouldn't say it was a success, because I expect more and more from these players, and especially with the manager that we've got. And I'm sure they do as well. But I would take top four. Of course, anyone would, because I miss Champions League football. I miss obviously watching them live, but I miss the Champions League. And let's be honest, right? From a financial perspective, all clubs are in the same position this year with poor finances from lack of revenue and stuff. The Champions League is imperative if we want to bring in players, because we know what Daniel Levy and all that are like, with money pinching left, right, and centre.
Yeah, but the people say that, but then when you actually look at when we're in the Champions League, we didn't actually bring in that many players.
No, we didn't. But then equally, we knew that a lot of the Champions League performance, well, not the performances, but certainly the last Champions League run we had was a very big smokescreen to some bigger problems in that back end of not in, to say they haven't invested is not correct, because they did invest. But I've always said this for years and years, they haven't invested in the critical positions. And the critical ones, they've always been umming and ahhing over like £5 million. And I don't get the logic, because if you miss out on the Champions League, you're missing out on 30-40 million guaranteed money, let alone the rest of the revenues. So I don't quite get that logic of missing out because of
I know, yeah.
But that's another topic for another day, of course. But you know, for me, it's about that top forward from our integrity, but also a really massive platform for next year. Because I hope that Jose stays on, because I think if we get a couple of players in the integral positions that we need, and he's managing us, and he's got the players of his mindset and his qualities, we will have a fantastic platform to move on. If we don't finish in the top 4 this year, you're going to have to ask, probably, you're going to be on your knees begging Son and Kane to stay, in my opinion, and a couple of other players maybe as well that should be gone anyway, but that's beside the point. But if I'm Harry, we all know that he stays if he believes the club's in progression and stuff, and we will be stuck in the mud if he goes. I don't know how we'd replace him. We could replace him with the money, but look what we did when Bale went, and we signed like 10 players that summer, whatever the stupid thing is. 2 survived in the last couple of years. So, you know, I don't have any hope in that sense. So top 4 for me is imperative, and I think it's more than achievable because we will probably win majority of these games. But like I said just a minute ago, it's down to the other teams now to mess that up. But we've got to make it that way, you know. We got to take that responsibility and initiative to make it in our favour. So let's see.
Okay, so you still don't think we're going to win the league then anymore?
Next year, mate.
Next year, definitely next year.
Yeah, next year. Like,
yeah.
I was halfway there in November. And
you were right in November with that.
I had my feet on the table. I was like, yeah.
You were loving it. You were like, told you, John. I told you. Yeah.
But what on earth happened? I don't know. It's just, I really can't. I don't think anyone can understand what quite happened, to be honest. But yeah, I think next year, that's what I'm saying about the top 4 positioning now, is let's get that and build that platform, because we need that to keep some players, in my opinion, and to really boost us for next year, which is coming thick and fast already.
Yeah.
It's mental.
All right, XRP to the moon. All right, matey. I'm sure I'll be talking a lot of you behind the scenes. All right, matey. I'll speak to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Cheers, fella. Come on, Spurs.